Alright guys, I ain't feeling too good right now, but yeah, I'm on the shitter. But yeah, I felt like I had the need to make a video. Um, so the Bengals decided to hire a Gruden as their offensive coordinator after all, but too bad it's Jay Gruden and not John. I don't know. Heard something about they're gonna try and run the West Coast offense like they used to. Some people don't know the West Coast offense started in Cincinnati. Of course, Walsh developed it. I don't know if we ran it before he left. I forget what position he had before Paul Brown let him get away. But most of our schemes from the early '80s until uh, sometime in the '90s, whenever Bruce Coslet quit being our coordinator, or whatever the fuck happened, like before Brett Kowski came in, or that might have been when we stopped. Anyway, that don't matter. But hiring Jay Gruden to me, that ranks right up there with fucking Dave Shula. I mean, it's just stupid. And pardon the background noise, guys. I doing a little throwing up earlier, and now I gave myself a little bit of an enema, trying to flush all this Bengals bullshit out of my system. I told you guys I'm done with that. I'm not supporting that bullshit anymore, and it has nothing to do with losing. I mean, I can take losing. I've seen a lot of losing in my lifetime, but when the owner of your football team just doesn't fucking care. I mean, and after 20 years, I mean, honestly, what is the point? I'm gonna catch a lot of shit for this, but what is the point when the owner doesn't care and that's the reason you lose? I mean, if your team sucks, it sucks, but the Bengals are horrible because of their fucking owner. And I took some notes. Paul Brown died in was it 91, 90 or some shit? Well, the 90 season, the Bengals went 9-7. I think the wild card or whatever is when they beat the Raiders and ended Bo Jackson's career and all that shit, and then they lost the next week to the Oilers. I'm not sure. Anyway, 9-7 and 90. I'm not gonna say every year, but since then, under Mike Brown, this is what they've done: 3-13, 5-11, 3-13, 3-13, 7-9, 8-8, 7-9, 3-13, 4-12, 4-12, 6-10, 2-14, 8-8, 8-8, 11-5, made the playoffs that year. 8-8, 7-9, 4-11-1, 10-6, made the playoffs that year, and then 4-12 this past year. So what does that tell you? And it ain't like before Paul Brown died and his son took over. It's not like the Bengals were making the playoffs every year and had all these great teams, but I mean they were more consistent in everything that they did. Drafting coaches, and then he just takes over and it all turns to shit. So to me, I think 20 years of that bullshit is enough. So, Josh, I, have fun with it, dude. I mean, you don't live in Cincinnati, you don't see, all the shit that I do, the headlines and all that. I guess A Train and the Berg still want to do it. Good for them. I mean, this is the second month of the year into 2011, and this is my New Year's resolution because it's less stress and it's something that that you don't have to worry about. Because I wrap myself up in that shit, and it's just it's too much. And I mean, a lot of people are finally jumping off now because they're sick of this shit. I mean, season ticket holders aren't renewing their tickets and all that, but it's just too little, too late. Why did they wait almost a month to fire Brett Kowski? I mean, you had all these coaches out there. You had McDaniels and who the fuck else? I really would have liked to have seen Hugh Jackson come back, but that didn't happen. But I mean, you see other coaches that used to be with the Bengals out there getting head coaching jobs. Hugh Jackson got the job with the Raiders. Uh, Leslie Frazier with the Vikings. Vikings fans. I mean, your new head coach used to be with the Bengals. He was the defensive coordinator. I think when Lewis first got here, and then they had Bresnahan and uh, then Zimmer. But It's just too much. And really, a lot of people should have realized in '99 during the first round of the draft when the Saints, and some of you guys might remember this, I'm sure a lot of you forgot, the Saints offered the Bengals 9 picks throughout '99 and 2000. 9 picks for their number 3 spot in the first round of 1999 draft because they wanted Ricky Williams. 9 picks just for one little spot. Mike Brown said no. We're sticking with our man, and our man is Akili Smith. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, the guy played like, what was he here for? Four, 4 years? I don't know. I think they released him sometime in '02 or after. In 4 years, he played something like 17 games or some shit. I mean, seriously, why do you draft players like that? He was one of them one-hit wonders in college. Had one good year, and then a team like the Bengals, when they throw all this, I don't know how much they paid him, but I'm just gonna say they threw away all this money on him. But fuck, it's enough. That is enough bullshit for me. I mean, it kind of seemed like they were trying to take steps forward, but obviously not. I mean, like I said, if you guys can find footage of the press conference when Marvin Lewis come back, it was just a fucking circus. So I'm not putting up the shit anymore. Move on to something else. Something else I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for, but I don't want to hear any of the shit. Rats fans probably know what I'm talking about, and you've been asking for it all year. But when your fucking owner doesn't care, you're gonna lose. During media day the other day, I was watching highlights on ESPN. I forget if it was a question asked or if it was just a comment, but Ben Roethlisberger said something like, "Success starts up at the top with the owners and it trickles down," or some shit like that. You know, that's true. A family like the Rooneys, and people are always like, "Oh, the Steelers sucked for like 40 years or some shit before they were good." Well, you know what? They finally figured it out, and they've been consistent in it. So, um, probably gonna keep this channel open for I don't know, I guess red stuff if I film anything going to games this year. Shit I do with the Berg and all that. But I got another channel up, so not gonna tell you what it is. You can find it. I'm sure everybody will be sharing it with each other. Some of you I know have already subscribed to it and seen it. So just find me on there. Um, Happy to say that at least now I know that there's owners that care about winning, care about football, and don't just care about fucking money. But like I said, all you guys out there, I mean, when you finally come to the age where you realize it's stupid to support this shit and pour and pouring money into it, and the people called enablers, the guys that go out and keep buying merchandise, keep buying tickets, and all this shit. I mean, that's the only reason Mike Brown stays in power. And who's to say that his daughter would be the same way, or she'd be worse, or she'd be better? I mean, you really don't know until it happens, but I'm not coming back to the shit. I mean, I had enough. Like I said last week in my other video, I'm not gonna throw away what I have, but I'm not gonna buy any more shit. I packed some of it up, but I mean, it ain't going anywhere. But it's all these years, fucking ruined. It's just because of an owner. I mean, if he cared and they just lost and they sucked, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if they just lost because they were bad. But that's not the case. I mean, 31 other fan bases in the NFL think the Bengals suck just because they suck. That is not the case, people. I mean, I'm speaking truthfully to you here, but yeah, that's about all I gotta say. Like I said, man, Josh and everybody, if you're still gonna support the shit, go for it. And you'll figure it out eventually, man. I know you're a few years younger than me, but that was it's just enough. It's a healthy choice to get away from the shit. Less stress. And I don't know. I pretty much ran out of stuff to say, guys. I'm glad to finally finish this chapter in my life and move on. So, I'll see you back on here for some red shit, like I said, and my new channel. You guys can figure it out. But yeah, see you later.